Chris hammered his fists into the unyielding surface of the boulder, each punch landing with a dull thud that echoed through the dense Michigan woods. At 33, he was a beast of a man, 6'4", shoulders like slabs of concrete from years of construction sites, veins bulging across his forearms like twisted ropes. MMA was his passion, and out here in the wilds of the Upper Peninsula, away from the gyms and the crowds, he trained like a primal force. Punching rocks wasn't for show. It toughened his knuckles, forged his wrists into iron. The sun dipped low, painting the trees in bloody hues. But Chris kept going, sweat pouring down his chiseled face, his breath coming in rhythmic grunts. He didn't hear the rustle at first, too focused on the rhythm, the burn in his muscles. But then a low growl sliced through the air, primal and warning. Chris spun around, fists raised instinctively. There, bursting from the underbrush like a shadow come alive, was a black bear, massive, its fur matted and wild. Eyes gleaming with hunger or rage, he couldn't tell. It stood on its hind legs for a moment, sniffing the air, then dropped down to all fours and lumbered toward him.
"Back off, you ugly bastard!"
Chris muttered, adrenaline surging. He'd read about bears, make noise, look big, but this one didn't care. It kept coming, paws thudding against the earth. Chris's heart pounded. But fear? Nah, he was built for this. As the bear closed in, he unleashed a haymaker, his right fist connecting square with the bear's skull. The impact jarred up his arm, but the bear staggered, shaking its head with a bewildered snort. For a split second, Chris grinned.
"Yeah, that hurt, didn't it?"
But the bear recovered fast, too fast. It roared, a sound that vibrated through Chris's bones, and charged. He swung again, but the animal was on him, claws raking across his chest, tearing through his shirt and flesh like paper. Pain exploded, hot and wet. Chris fought back, landing blows to its ribs, its snout. But the bear was a wall of muscle and fury. It reared up, jaws gaping, and clamped down on his shoulder. He screamed, punching wildly, but the beast shook him like a rag doll. In a blur of agony, the bear's massive paw swiped across his neck, and then nothing. Its teeth sank into the base of his skull, twisting with savage strength. A wet crunch, and Chris's world went black as his head tore free. Rolling into the leaves like a discarded melon, blood sprayed in arcs, soaking the ground. The bear sniffed the carcass, then dragged it deeper into the shadows, leaving a trail of gore and the acrid stench of voided bowels mingling with urine. Flies descended almost immediately, buzzing hungrily over the ruin. What's up, guys and gals? Iceman here. Welcome to Horrors of the North. So these are the best horror stories on YouTube. So like this video, subscribe to this page, and paw that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. Miles away, on the vast expanse of Lake Superior, Ashley clung to Leon's waist as their jet ski sliced through the choppy waves. The water was a deep, unforgiving blue, the kind that hid secrets in its depths. Ashley, 22, and radiant, with sun-kissed blonde hair cascading down her back, wore a skimpy red bikini that hugged her curves. Leon, 35, with his rugged jaw and easy smile, steered with confidence, the wind whipping at them. They'd been dating for months, stolen weekends like this, away from the world, just the two of them. The sun hung low, casting a golden shimmer on the lake, but Ashley shifted uncomfortably. "Leon," she whispered into his ear, her breath warm against the chill air. "I really have to pee, like now." He chuckled, throttling down. "All right, princess, let's find a spot." He scanned the shoreline, spotting a secluded cove framed by thick woods. Perfect. Private. No one for miles. He guided the jet ski to the pebbled beach, killing the engine. Ashley hopped off, her bare feet crunching on the stones, and skipped toward the trees, her laughter trailing behind her.
Don't take too long,
Leon called, stretching out on the ski, enjoying the solitude. Ashley pushed through the underbrush, the forest closing in around her. Pine needles cushioned her steps, the air thick with the scent of earth and sap. She found a spot behind a cluster of bushes, squatting quickly. Relief washed over her. But as she stood, adjusting her bikini bottoms, her foot caught on something soft and yielding. She stumbled, catching herself on a tree, and looked down. A scream tore from her throat, raw, piercing. There, half hidden in the ferns, was a body. A man's body, muscular and torn. His head gone. Just a ragged stump where his neck should be, crusted with dried blood. Flies swarmed in a black cloud, their buzz a deafening drone. The smell hit her like a punch. Rotting meat mingled with the foul reek of shit and piss, so overpowering she gagged, bile rising in her throat. Intestines spilled out from a gash in his abdomen, glistening in the dappled light. Horror froze her for a moment. Then she backed away, screaming again. Back on the beach, Leon bolted upright.
Ashley!
Her cries echoed through the woods, chilling his blood. He grabbed his backpack from the jet ski, yanked out his 9mm pistol, a habit from his days in security. Heart racing, he plunged into the trees, branches whipping at his face.
Ashley, where are you?
He burst into the clearing and stopped dead. There she was, on the ground, thrashing wildly. But atop her, oh God, a giant black bear, its fur slick with blood, jaws locked around her little head. Ashley's blonde hair matted red, her screams muffled into gurgles as the beast twisted, trying to wrench her skull free. Her bikini top had torn in the struggle, exposing pale skin raked with claws. The bear's eyes locked on Leon, feral and unyielding, as it pulled harder, Ashley's body convulsing.
No!
Leon roared, raising the pistol. He squeezed the trigger. Pop, pop, pop. The 9mm barking in his hands. Bullets slammed into the bear's flank, its chest, its head. Blood sprayed hot and coppery. The beast staggered, releasing Ashley with a wet snap. But it didn't fall right away. It lunged at Leon, a steaming mass of fury. Before another volley, 5 more shots dropped it. The carcass collapsed like a felled tree, right onto Ashley, her body vanishing under the weight. A sickening crunch echoed as bones strained under the pressure. Leon dropped the gun, rushing forward.
Ashley, hold on!
He heaved at the bear's body, muscles straining, adrenaline fueling him. Inch by inch, he rolled it off her. She lay there, limp, face a mask of blood and bruises, her head lolling unnaturally. Shallow breaths rattled from her chest, but her eyes were closed, pulse faint.
Come on, baby,
he whispered, tilting her head back, pinching her nose and breathing into her mouth. CPR, desperate and rhythmic. Chest compressions, breaths, over and over. Finally, she coughed, spitting blood, eyes fluttering open in terror.
We gotta go,
Leon said, scooping her up into his arms. She whimpered as he carried her back to the jet ski, her body slick with gore. He strapped her in front of him, one arm around her waist, and gunned the engine. The ski roared to life, bouncing over waves toward civilization. Distant lights on the horizon. Wind howled, mixing with Ashley's weak sobs. Behind them, the woods swallowed the horror, but Leon knew it wasn't over. The bear's blood steamed on the shore, and in the fading light, flies buzzed over 2 carcasses now. As they sped across the lake, Ashley's hand clutched his, her voice a broken whisper. It tried to... my head... Leon shushed her, eyes fixed ahead, Sirens wailed in his mind, but out here it was just the roar of the engine and the endless waters. Help was coming, but the nightmare clung like blood on their skin.